Hello and welcome back to Nitecap. I'm Josh Rimmer on Nextsportstar.com. Joining us on the line right now, head coach of the St. Louis Blues, Ken Hitchcock. Ken, thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Thanks for having me on, Josh.
Ken, I'm glad to have you on and actually be talking more about hockey issues than the CBA. How excited are you that the deal is finally done between the NHL and the NHLPA?
More relieved, to be honest with you. I mean, anybody that's been in the game for a long time, you worry about, the game itself, and the feeling that people have for the game. And I was probably one of those guys, Josh, that wasn't surprised that attendance was down in other leagues because, the NHL is the engine and the fuel and that drives our game. And I think when people get discouraged about what was going on in our league, it dampers their enthusiasm for hockey in general. And so I'm more relieved for the game of hockey and in particular the people that work in and around our game, and whether it's referees or off-ice officials or concessionaires or people that had to take reduced salaries and that, we got the game back in order. I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that hockey is back. But were you at all surprised that the agreement was made at 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning, Ken?
No, I think once you're on, you see that a lot in the business side of negotiations. Once it starts down that path, once there's momentum, you don't want to stop it. And I think that's where they felt it was going. When you're in it that long, and I think we all knew that once it got past midnight, that something good was going to happen. And but it's amazing in those, the momentum killers, and then the momentum add-ons. When you get a situation like that where they're going at it for extended hours, and there's a positive movement, you just know something's going to get done.
Ken Hitchcock joining us right now, St. Louis Blues head coach. Ken, how about this mediator, Scott Beckenbaugh? Everyone thought he was basically wasting his time, and yet he comes through as the hero to end this lockout. Well,
I think it's just, when things are so emotional, like they were in this lockout, I think those guys are invaluable. They calm things down, and I think everybody's grateful for the job he did. I think everybody from both sides thanked him, and what's amazing to me, Josh, is that he just came off a hard labor disagreement with the longshoreman, and then he walks right into something like this. I mean, that's endurance. He hung in there like a trooper, and he comes right off of one into another quagmire, and helps solve that one too. So I think whatever he's getting paid, he certainly is earning it, because he did a heck of a job for not only the NHL and the NHLPA, but for the longshoreman disagreement also.
And Ken, how did you stay busy during the lockout? I mean, you've been through a few of these before. What did you do during the lockout to kind of keep your mind off things?
You know what, Josh? I've with coaching all the levels, junior, pro, and everything, I've got a lot of guys that played hockey for me in junior and in the minors and even in the NHL that are coaching hockey now. And you know what? I was able to go back and help a lot of guys that were involved in major junior, and some guys in the NCAA, some guys in the USHL. And I watched a video of their games, or in some cases I went to games live and observed, watched practices. So I was able to mentor a lot of guys in helping their teams out, and it gave me great satisfaction. I really enjoyed it. And then the other thing that worked for us was that we were in Doug Armstrong and management allowed us to go into Peoria on a weekly basis. So each coach would go in for a 7 to 10 day period periodically and work with the team there. So between watching their games every weekend live and then going there to go on the ice, we got a real good fix of hockey. And I was really getting a lot of satisfaction out of watching a lot of these junior and college games with people that I coached when they were coming up in their careers.
Now, Ken, we've heard the talk that the camps would open up on Sunday. Have you been informed at all when camps are expected to be open?
No, we're reading everything else that everybody's reading on the weekend stuff, but nobody's given us any detail at all. Tomorrow is now Wednesday, and we don't have a lot of players back right now, to be honest with you, Josh. We had, I think, 11 players skate today, so we're not near at the number that we're going to need to be at, obviously. So we have none of our European players back yet, and we're hopeful that we get quite a few more players back tomorrow and the next day. But all we've heard is what everybody else has been writing and tweeting, and that is that it's going to be sometime either Saturday or Sunday, or when camp opens, and then the skate's going to be either Sunday or Monday. That's the same stuff everybody else has been reading.
Now, Hitch, how do you prepare for a shortened training camp and even a shortened season?
Well, to be honest with you, when I heard 7 days, I thought that was plenty. Now, if it goes to 5, that's a whole different animal. That's quick. So you got to. The biggest adjustment isn't on the technical side, unless you make a lot of changes on your team, or unless you change your system. The players pick that stuff up really quickly, how to play. But it's getting them out of summer hockey mode and into winter hockey mode. That's the biggest challenge. All the little things that matter in winning hockey games, blocking shots, stopping on pucks, battling for pucks, being heavy and hard on the boards, all the things that hurt and are very demanding. The players haven't. I'll guarantee on every team, half your team hasn't done any of that yet. And that's going to be the hard challenge for everybody, to get people back into the winter hockey mode that you need to win hockey games. So I think the first teams that do that stuff are going to be winning a lot of hockey games early on here.
Now, Ken, what kind of hockey do you think we'll be seeing played in these 48 games?
Really high energy, lots of good plays offensively, lots of mistakes defensively. It isn't the offensive part of the game that comes back the slowest. It's the defensive part of the game. It's the defensive timing that takes the most time, and that's something that is not going to be there, I don't think, for a lot of teams. So you're going to see, I think, more offensive opportunities, more scoring, in my opinion, more scoring chances, in my opinion, just because it's going to take longer for the defensive part, the checking part, the positional play part to get up to speed to the rest of the game.
Now, Hitch, you guys of the St. Louis Blues had a great year last year. What are your expectations this year for the team? I'm probably going to tell the players that we have to be better just to be the same, because this is the first goal for a lot of guys where we're going to wear a little bit more of a target. When you win the division, when you've got 109 points, people measure up against you and see what they're like. And so we're going to get a lot of guys' age games. We're going to get a lot of teams' best performances, and we're still going to have to take points in those games and get used to that stuff. So I think that's our biggest adjustment, is we're not going to sneak up on anybody like we did on most of last year. We're going to have to be right out front and playing really good right off the bat, and we're going to have to get used and get excited to get everybody's A performance, because that's what I feel we're going to get. We're going to get a lot of great performances against us, especially early on. Now, Ken, Chris Stewart had a bit of an off year last year. What do you expect from him this year? Do you expect Chris to come back? Did you guys kind of give him maybe a training program in the off season, or did you give him some notes to work on over the off season? What do you expect from Chris Stewart this year?
Well, Stewie's problem last year was endurance. He couldn't keep up to the pace that he started with in the third period. He has done an unbelievable job at coming back in shape. I saw him today for the first time. I couldn't believe it. And he is in terrific shape. He's lost a lot of weight. He's quick. agile on the ice. I think all of us are really excited to see the level of commitment that he's made to get in top flight shape, not just good shape, but great shape. And it's just amazing. He did a great job. The people in Toronto that worked with him did a great job. He kept it up through the lockout, and he's ready and raring to go. So I think all of us are excited to see what level of play can obtain, because he's done the work off the ice that we asked him to do, and he's ready to go.
Ken, how do you think the fans are going to be? Do you think the Blues fans are going to come back right away and support the team?
I think it's different in the United States than it is in Canada, Josh. I think in Canada, hockey is the prime sport. There isn't a lot of winter competition for dollars. And I think that you're going to see buildings full and people excited. I think in the United States, there are a lot of options for fans, a lot. There's the other three major sports, there's college activities, everything. So we have a challenge. I think the only way in a lot of American cities that they're going to come back, right away is if you put on a good performance. And I think bottom line, that's what we got to do. I don't think all the gifts and toys and tricks that you hand out don't matter. If you don't play good hockey, people aren't going to support you. And I really believe that if we play good hockey, our fans will be right there. But we got to earn it back here. We're not going to. We can't just have gimmicks and expect people to come into the building. We got to show a winning product like we did last year. That's what brought the people back last year, Josh, was we played good hockey. And if we do that again, I know the fans here will come back for sure.
One thing the fans can look forward to is finally seeing Tarasenko in a St. Louis Blues uniform. Do you have high expectations for him this year?
I think we got to be careful here and just, let him play. I mean, he hasn't played a game in North America for 2 years. This is a different rink, a different game. He hasn't played an NHL game ever. I think we just got to be careful here. We know he's a good player. We know he's a really good player. And we just got to be really, really careful at how we use him, and we don't put him in situations that he can't have success. But I think all of us are curious and excited to see where his level's at. He's done a great job in the KHL. That line was the best line in the league. With Tikhonov and with Kovalchuk, that was the best line in the league, in my opinion, in the games that I watched. And I think that he's ready to take the next step, but we just can't put too much of a burden on him and put the expectations over the bar, and he can't maintain it.
He definitely was an exciting player. I saw some highlights of him overseas, and he looked like quite the player. Got to ask you one last question, Ken, before we let you go. Really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. How is the health of your hockey club going into the year?
We're good. We had some injuries in Europe. Alex Steen got hurt. Roman Pollock got hurt, but they were back playing for 2-3 weeks before the lockout ended. So we're right now we're 100%. We got no issues, and we're really looking forward to camp starting here. So, touch wood that if we can stay healthy, that's going to be a big factor. But Josh, I know right now that as an organization, I think each organization realizes you're going to go through 28 to 33 players, and you're just going to have to learn to live with it.
Well, Ken, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you taking the time. Definitely excited that hockey is here, and we could stop talking about the CABA stuff at least for another 10 years. So really appreciate you taking the time. All the best to you, Hitch, and look forward to seeing you behind the bench.
All right. Thanks a lot, Josh.
Thanks, Hitch. Take care.